Hello, and welcome to the Walk-in Transformation Podcast. Here we talk about the different insights, principles, and strategies that you can use to overcome challenges and obstacles, fears, self-doubt, even negative thinking to help you develop the right mindset to create a better quality of life for yourself and your family. I'm Richard Coles of RHCG Motivation, and if you're just tuning in for the very first time, you're going to love the real stories, interviews, and powerful talks we bring you to help you make it through your day with as little stress and drama as possible. Welcome back to all of you who have subscribed to this podcast, and let me say, I am so grateful to have the opportunity to serve you once again. Welcome back again. In this episode, we're going to talk about the A word, anxiety. My favorite book asks a simple question. In Luke chapter 12, verse 25, it says, "And which of you by being anxious can add a single hour to his span of life?" In other words, can being anxious add an hour, more value, or even peace of mind to your life? The answer is definitely not. So why are so many people overwhelmed with anxiety that is affecting every area of their lives? There are a lot of reasons, but the root is fear. I'm not a doctor, specialist, or even an expert when it comes to anxiety. The information I'm about to share with you here is information that has been shared with me by experts and has helped me to get a grip on anxiety instead of allowing anxiety to take control of me. But why are you feeling it? Where does it come from, and how do you break free of its grip on you? When I suggest that we are the source of our anxiety, most people say that cannot be true, and they push back really hard. But it's true. We really are the source. The things that we are anxious about are just that, things. In other words, circumstances, events, or situations that give us a reason to be anxious. None of these things create anxiety for us. The way we react to or how we see these things is what causes anxiety. The definition of anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. The very definition of anxiety gives us the source of our anxiety. Wrapped up in the definition of anxiety is the way to deal with anxiety. I say that again, wrapped up in the definition of anxiety is the way to deal with anxiety. Now, this should be great news for you because you know now where your anxiety comes from and why you are feeling anxious. Actually, what anxiety should do is signal you that it's time to take a step back for a second, that it's time to slow down, breathe, take a look at the situation that's causing the anxiety and what is the best course of action to take, the next step. The very first thing to do is to decide whether or not this is something that you can control or do something about, or if it's out of your control totally. Here's where the serenity prayer comes in really handy for me. And that just says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The wisdom to know the difference. Accepting that we cannot change something or do something about a particular person, place, or thing actually puts you in a place of power. I may not be able to change the situation, but what I can do is change the way that I think about that situation or the way that I frame it in my reality. Let's take a look at this pandemic, for example. I cannot get rid of it or even make anyone take this seriously. What I can do, however, is to make sure that I'm taking all the necessary precautions that I can take to ensure that I minimize my risk of exposure, thereby minimizing the risk of exposing the ones that I love. But that's not the only thing that I can do. I can realize and remind myself that this is not a permanent situation, that we will get past this, that this too shall pass. I can also look at all the advancements and new ways that we're doing things today to better equip ourselves to function at a high level in today's world. We're not always going to wear a face mask. We're not going to have to sanitize our hands every time we go someplace. That's not a bad idea though. We're not always going to have to socially distance when we go out to a restaurant, grocery store, or birthday party. These things will fade in time. I have to keep telling myself that they're going to be okay, because they will. That's it. That's all. They will be okay. We will once again be able to sit around in the living room with friends on Christmas Day as kids open presents. That's not just wishful thinking. That's just the way it is. We have always overcome threats to our way of life and the freedoms that we enjoy. Listen, if you are a hugger like I am, probably the biggest challenge is not being able to hug people when we greet them. And you need to understand that you will be able to give out hugs again. Just knowing these things, just saying these things to yourself, just knowing that we will be able to participate in these things once again very soon has a calming effect on me as it will you. Anxiety may be able to stand up against a truth, but it cannot stand up against the truth. There is a difference. A truth is someone's opinion that this is our new normal. The truth is that this is not our new normal, but a bridge that we are crossing to get to our improved normal. That's it. That's all. Here is a simple breathing exercise that may help. If you can, try it now. If not, come back to this later. You'll be glad you did. Whatever you are doing when you start feeling anxious, if you can pause for a few moments, that will really help. Maybe pull over if you're driving, or step out for a moment if you're in a meeting or helping the children with schoolwork. You're going to get comfortable and then inhale slowly, deeply, filling your lungs. Then you will exhale slowly, focusing on your breathing as you're doing this. Don't try to quiet your thoughts, because that is only going to frustrate you. When you focus on your breathing, you'll start focusing less on your thoughts and start to relax. It is a simple but very effective way to calm down. Make this a regular part of your daily routine. Don't wait till you're stressed and almost out of control. I'm not saying that this will solve all of your problems, but it will help calm you when you're in your moments of anxiety. You'll be able to look at things differently and see that your anxiety is not your boss. Interestingly enough, this also helps in dealing with people that you are in relationship with, be they significant others, family, or just friends. People, places, and things outside of ourselves have been the source of fear, intimidation, anxiety, anger, stress, and sadness for as long as we can remember. It is true that we will feel all of these emotions, but it is also true that we do not have to stay stuck in these emotions. Remaining focused on how unfairly we have been treated, or how wrong it was for someone to do what they did to us, or even wondering if things are ever going to change, will keep us 100% feeling the same way. The good news is that reframing the way that you see things in your world will allow you to control the way you feel about them. And what we want to do is feel good. And there's a way to move away from not feeling good and move toward feeling better. That, my friend, is just a little something to help you make it through your day and ease some of the stress, drama, and yes, anxiety that you deal with many times daily. I know that it can be really hard to deal with emotions like anxiety, anger, sadness, grief, especially when we feel like we're all alone, like we're the only one going through this at the time, like there's something wrong and that you're broken. I come across so many people every day that are in some cases totally overwhelmed by so many challenges, and they feel like things are out of control. But you are not broken. You are not alone, and you are bigger than any challenge, stress, or anxiety that comes your way. Give yourself a little more credit, because look at where you've come from. Look at how far you've come in your life. Do yourself a favor and start yourself a gratitude list. Write down a list of 10 things that you're grateful for. Even if you can only think of 5, write them down, because you're going to look at these things whenever you need a quick shot of feel good to help you move into a good emotional space. Don't just write anything on this list. Consider people you love or respect, places you've been, things you have done, or events that have earned a place in your heart. You want to keep this list with you and look at it often. It's going to make you smile, and you will always have something in your pocket that can help you turn the tide of your emotions. Again, I'm Richard Coles of RHCG Motivation, and I believe in you. In fact, I behold the Christ in you, and I speak health, prosperity, and purpose into your life right here, right now. I wanted to do this episode on anxiety before the first guest interview because I truly hope this will add a little more value to your life. Please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and even share it with your friends, because you never know who might need a little encouragement or just to know that you care. Together we can help each other keep moving forward to bigger and better times and things. So I'll be seeing you, or talking to you that is, next week. And until then, stay groovy.